Podcast City Network.
They turn that light off because then they really don't see.
Hey guys, welcome to another
that.
exciting episode of Final Score, episode 121. Just making it happen, one after the other. It's because it's just how we do it here, Final Score. Try to keep pumping it out. And we got a lot for tonight. Got to make up for last week when we couldn't go live because, I went and got me a COVID shot, so I went and got all sick and everything. So, my bad. But we are here this week, and I can't do it without the one, the only Ivan. How you doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's good to be back.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an exciting episode. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. But before we get to that, you have to make sure to follow us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram by searching at PCN Final Score. Go smash that like, follow, and subscribe button for us. And, of course, go hit the reaction and the share buttons on this post. That way you can help Final Score get out there even more. And as you see, we want to thank everyone for helping us hit 1,200 followers on Facebook. We thank you guys so much for your support. Without you guys, there would be no show. So we thank you guys so much. But it's now time to talk a little bit of college football in the Final Score top 10. So much to talk about tonight. And first things first, man, our number one team, Alabama, went to the wire with your Gators, Ivan. It was an absolutely fantastic game. I just got to get your initial reaction to that game, man.
I got to tell you, I'm shocked myself, Chris. You asked me, we talked about it. I thought we were going to get demolished by 21 points. I didn't even think this was even close. It's kind of crazy seeing the progression of the game and how, the game kind of started out with the ass beating that everyone thought was to be expected. And then out of nowhere, this Florida team had this resiliency of something I've never seen before. It's something not even of Urban Meyer's brilliance. Okay. So, no, man, it's crazy. It was fantastic to see this team really play well and really go out with the right kind of tenacity to take on an Alabama team like that, man. That I think more people, and I think you'd agree, Chris, more people went away from that game going, damn, this Florida team, holy shit. I don't think Alabama wants to see them again in the conference championship. So yeah, no, man. I mean, ultimately, Bryce Young had a fantastic game. I'm not going to take anything away, man. He the 3 touchdowns, 240 in the air. That is fantastic. You really can't say enough about that kid, man. Like, he is phenomenal. So I'll get to Florida and my whole thing about that later on. But my initial first reaction was Alabama looks like, I mean, you could have like it's all schematics, man. You can have all the 5 stars you want, but if they do not perform, this is what happens. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it keeps working out for them moving forward. They do look great, but Florida definitely gave them a run for their money. And I have to agree. I think Florida is a team people are going to have to contend with, but we'll get to that, like you said, a little bit later. But looking at our number 2 team, Georgia, now 3-0 after their huge win against South Carolina, 40-13. JT Daniels looking real sharp, 23-31, 300 plus through the air and 3 touchdowns. What do you think about this Georgia squad?
I think Georgia's solid, man. I think that defense, coached by Kirby Smart's sound, like I was telling you on our last show. I was kind of timid about them, but no, I think the last 2 weeks have really proved and solidified that, okay, we got the kinks worked out. We're ready to roll. So, like, I could give you more of an in-depth opinion. I think they're doing fantastic right now on offense, and JT Daniels is clicking on all cylinders. So, I don't know. I'm feeling good about it. Also, the running back, White, what's his first name? Or what was it?
Zamir, I think.
Yeah, Zamir White. Yeah, he's fantastic, dude. I love that guy. And they just got a young team. And with JT there, I think they got another year or two. Or is he a senior right now?
That I'm actually not 100% sure.
That's one. I want to say he is, because last year he had to sit down for the whole.
He's actually a junior.
Oh, cool. So you got him for this year and next year. I think going in with that young group of wide receivers, I think it's going to yield some results. I mean, We all know that it comes down to the Georgia-Florida game. So that's all I could tell you right now. I think Georgia's going to be undefeated by that point, and I think Florida will be only have that one loss. I mean, I'm not trying to speak ahead, but if they play, I mean, I'm not trying to talk about Florida again, but if they play with that same tenacity that they played Alabama with, I would think you would agree. You would assume that Florida will meet them with that one loss, and it's going to be a hell of a game. I think Florida, though, is just too unrivaled when it comes to quarterback play, exposing defenses. I mean, as you can see, like I said, that's further down. We'll get to that later. But no, I think Georgia looked good. They're elite, not as elite as Shane Beamer proclaims, but they are elite.
Absolutely. I have to agree. Playing probably some of the best ball they have, probably since the year they went to the national championship against Alabama. Yeah. So it's great to kind of see what they've been able to put together. And I would agree. I think Florida
championship.
Yeah, that's right.
And I only say that because I hate Georgia and I don't want them to get credit that's undeserved.
That is true. That is true. But I do see Georgia being undefeated when they go into the world's greatest outdoor cocktail party.
That's
especially
right.
Against Florida, who I think will only still have that one loss on the record. So it'll definitely be interesting once we get to that point, and probably will be the greatest challenge for both those teams going forward. Our number 3 team, though, Oregon, getting themselves up to 3-0 after beating Stony Brook 48-7. They looked real sharp, and they did it in a small amount of plays, but getting some decent play out of Anthony Brown, 14 of 18, 159 yards and a touchdown. What do you think about this Oregon squad so far?
I like this Oregon squad. I know they have, other than Dye, they have another running back too. I want to say, what's his name? He ran all over Ohio State. For the life of me, I can't remember. But Travis Dye's fantastic. Anthony Brown's fantastic.
Probably CJ,
and I mean,
CJ Verdell? No.
Yeah, Verdell, CJ Verdell. That guy's amazing. So with that tandem of backs, and I mean, look, Anthony Brown was fantastic. I mean, his QBR was good, and he had 159 and a touchdown. I mean, when you're running all over teams, what are you going to do? You're not going to play your starters very long against Stony Brook. So, 48-7 is good, man. I honestly, I think Oregon's going to, I mean, the Pac-12 isn't strong. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative or be a hater, but I think you'd say the Pac-12 is one of the more least intriguing conferences in FBS. So, yeah, man. I'm going to have to say Oregon's looking like they're going to be at number 3 for quite some time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we'll definitely see as they navigate the Pac-12. Pac-12 can pop in some surprises here and there, but I don't think Oregon's going to have too many going down the line. So we'll definitely see what we get from them. But looking at our number 4 team, the Iowa Hawkeyes, 3-0 after beating Kent State 30-7. They definitely were clicking on all cylinders, especially on the ground with Tyler Goodson, 22 carries.
They really jumped that high? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm trying to understand that. They really jumped to 4.
What?
You
got to remember, they got beat 2 ranked teams. You got Clemson looking not that great, Ohio State not looking that great. Texas A&M's even had a scare already, and Cincinnati really hasn't faced any competition. I got to give it to Iowa here just because they constantly just go out and get the job done. And
Tyler Goodson's a hell of a back. He really is. He really
for sure.
is.
153 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Petras is good too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I think this Hawkeye squad is one that's definitely going to be contending in the Big Ten. But it's surprising you see some of the teams that are starting to make a push now, especially Michigan, another team that we're going to talk about a little later, who's also been making a push in the Big Ten. That we're starting to see a little bit of a resurgence overall from the Big Ten, and it's not just Ohio State, which I love to see. So really great stuff. But what do you think about Iowa so far?
I got to give it to you, though, with your comment on the Big Ten. I always crap on those other conferences because I'm an SEC guy. I mean, I guess call me an elitist, if you will. But no, I do love the Big Ten this year. I mean, there's a lot of good football coming from that conference. I actually enjoy watching Big Ten games. Hell, I even watched that Michigan State-Miami beating. I enjoyed that because I hate Miami, and that running back ran all over the hell out of that team. It was fantastic. That running back is going to be an NFL prospect. I don't know why I can't remember these kids' names tonight, but that guy is pretty damn good. He's a good size. I want to say he was like a 6'4" back, 220. It's fantastic. From first looks, that's what I saw. But yeah, that MSU running game is to be reckoned with. But No, yeah, Iowa's fantastic. I think they're gonna like I said, they're gonna stay in that number 4 spot for quite some time, just like Oregon. Um, and it's gonna be interesting to see how this top 5 shakes out because you can easily switch Georgia with Alabama with that kind of performance Alabama had against Florida. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think Iowa's good at where they're at. I'm not to jump to the next team because we'll go over Oklahoma, but I'm not impressed with Oklahoma, to be honest. I think they should be ranked number 8, to be completely honest.
Yeah, and talk about Oklahoma. They come in as our 5 team for now. Haven't been looking the most solid. Barely escaped Nebraska 23-16. And Spencer Rattler just not really wowing, the stat sheet at all, honestly. And they were talking
Rattler
about
gets rattled.
Hype. Yeah, Rattler gets rattled real easy. So
you know what I mean? And I don't find him to be impressive. It has nothing to do with me knocking him for his Netflix show or whatever. We're not going to talk about that. But, I just am not impressed with Spencer Rattler. I think Lincoln Riley's fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from that great Oklahoma defense as well. But it's the Big 12, man. I'm not over here like, oh my God, getting too crazy about it yet. So I don't think I think Oklahoma hasn't been tested yet. I'll give you an answer about their place in the poll if they win or lose in a big time game. But what game do you see right now that Oklahoma, besides the Red River rivalry game, what game do you see Oklahoma right now playing that's difficult? Honestly,
with how they've been playing, maybe
Texas,
Iowa State,
TCU,
but
TCU
then,
maybe.
Nah, the Big 12 feels like the gap's been closing between them and Oklahoma for some time now, as we've seen with Baylor being able to rise, Texas Tech even, TCU obviously always being there every year, and Iowa State being the most recent power. But Iowa State's fallen off, and outside of that, I don't see anybody truly contending with Oklahoma right now unless they catch them on an off day, which could happen because of Spencer Rattler. So it's really tough to call how it's really going to shake out for Oklahoma. And like you said, they still got to deal with the Red River rivalry against Texas. So that's always a crapshoot every year, no matter where the teams are ranked, no matter the records. So who knows? And I can tell you right now, this is not the best Oklahoma squad we've seen Lincoln Riley even field. So I have my doubts, and there'll be a lot more to come. But we'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. But I have a feeling Oklahoma's going to eventually start falling down these rankings. But our number 6 squad, Penn State, now 3-0 after beating a ranked Auburn team 28-20. Man, is Penn State back?
Let's slow our roll here. That Auburn team is terrible, for one. Okay, I don't know why these people are getting overwhelmingly excited over a whiteout game and all this nonsense. Look, Penn State is not back. Okay, they're getting ranked number 6 because, like I said, there is nobody worthy of this top 10, man. It's so bad that Florida still is ranked number 11 after a loss. We're going to leave it at that. But I will say Penn State, they're not a bad team. Look, I'm going to be honest. I love, what's the head coach's name? Oh my God. I know who he is. He coached Vandy. Oh my God. I know this. I should know. It's,
James Franklin.
Yes. Franklin. He's a fantastic coach. He's a great mind. He's a great innovator, and he's a great motivator as well, man. Like with everything that he does, and within the program, or any kind of. I'm trying to say, no matter what program he's at, he installs just a great attitude, a great culture. I love him, man. He's fantastic. So I think Penn State's deserving of the number 6 ranking just off of that alone. Having a great coaching staff, having a bunch of kids that are not like Florida, that are also like Florida and Texas A&M, and a lot of these teams in the top 10. We don't have. Alabama's too busy getting all the 5 stars that whatever's left. This is what's left over, man. Is the Penn States of the world and the Texas A&Ms and the Cincinnati Bearcats. You know what I'm saying? You get these. What's the remainder of these awesome athletes that just rise to the occasion, man. Just like Sean Clifford. 28-32, 280, and 2 touchdowns. It's a solid game against an SEC defense, no matter what SEC defense. You know what I mean? So, that's respectable, man. So I'm not going to hate on them.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll definitely see how they really are once they get further down the line and have to play some of these better Big Ten schools. They do have a win against a ranked Wisconsin team as well. But I still think that there's more that they need to prove before we can really say they're worthy of not only being in the top 10, but trying to make a push for that Final Four. So we'll see what we get. But our number 7 team, Texas A&M, definitely bounced back hardcore this week, upping to 3-0 after beating New Mexico 34-0. And Zach Calzada playing absolutely out of his mind, 19 of 33, 275, 3 touchdowns. Is this Texas A&M squad for real?
Oh yeah, they are. Don't be surprised if they wind up beating Alabama, winning the West. I know it sounds crazy, and people are like, "Okay, dude, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about." But no, look at what Jimbo's doing. I mean, this is what year 3, and they're all like, once again top 10 ranked teams. So Calzada's good. I know 19 of 33 doesn't look sexy, but 275, 3 touchdowns. That's solid, man. You can't take that away. He had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
They blanked the Lobos. You know what I mean? So you can't be upset with that, man. So I think that's a solid game. I think TAMU has a long way to go as far as establishing themselves as a top contender for a while. But Jimbo's doing good work, man. I mean, he's an established coach. He's a national champion. I don't expect anything less. So I'm not surprised to see them. And honestly, I am. I'm surprised they're not ranked number 5. Because that's where Oklahoma should be at number 8 or 7. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, hey, who knows what next week will bring, so we'll definitely see.
Yeah, never know, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But our number 8 team, the Cincinnati Bearcats, are now up to 3-0 after beating Big Ten opponent Indiana 38-24. Desmond Riddler having a decent-ish game, but honestly, Cincinnati hasn't really played anybody too great. Indiana's already fallen on hard times, falling out of the rankings themselves. So Cincinnati really won't get a true test until after they come out of their bye week and face Notre Dame. So we'll definitely get a better gauge of what that team is come then. But what do you think about Cincinnati so far?
It's just a really good, schematic wise, they're really well built. I like their run game. Desmond Ritter's a proven veteran quarterback. He's going to be a great NFL pick next year. I'm pretty sure he's a senior. He's going to go high in the draft. So I expect him to be like a 2nd, 3rd round pick, to be completely honest with you. The kid's good, man. Got good size, good arm. And Cincinnati's deserving of that. I mean, look at their resume. They don't play in a strong conference, but that team is just going in the right direction. Definitely playing solid right now. Yeah, it doesn't look good 38-24. I mean, it doesn't, but a win's a win,
Yeah, especially when it's against a Power 5 schools. And that's something I think Cincinnati needs more than anything is wins against those Power 5 schools. So we'll definitely see what we get from them, especially once they make it through the Notre Dame game. So, but our number 9 team, which was really hard to even rank in the top 10 at this point, is Clemson at 2-1, who barely survived Georgia Tech 14-8. DJ Uiagalelei not really being all that effective, had no touchdowns in the game, but Will Shipley didn't look too bad, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. But man,
they can run the ball.
Yeah, they definitely can run it. But do you think Clemson might be out of their window now?
I think Clemson's a good team. They still can be a 2-3 loss team. I wouldn't be surprised if they only go with a 1 loss. I mean, you have to understand that Trevor Lawrence was a generational player. You got to understand that not everybody is going to come in here and do what Trevor Lawrence did. So DJ's fine. I understand his numbers this year have been very, very, very unspectacular, very leaving a lot to be desired. But you got to give the process time, man. You're always going to go through your ups and downs. If this is a bad year for Clemson, hell, 2-1 and number 9 right now, it's not bad. It could be worse.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And, we'll definitely see what we get once they start getting deeper into ACC play. Some ACC teams have been a little bit surprising this year, so we'll definitely see what we have moving forward. But our final team in our top 10 is one I did not put here lightly, even though it is a team I'm very familiar with, and that is Notre Dame. Honestly, the only reason Notre Dame is even here is because they are somehow still undefeated after beating Purdue 27-13. Jack Cohen only thrown for 50%, but still had 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, man, it's hard because, obviously I have my extreme bias for Notre Dame. I almost wanted to put Florida here, but we put Notre Dame just because, they still have the unblemished record. But it's tough, man. And they really need to start proving themselves. The close game against Purdue, even closer game against Toledo and Florida State. is not helping Notre Dame's cause in any kind of way. So they definitely need to start proving themselves, especially with Dade coming up against not only Wisconsin this upcoming weekend, but Cincinnati the weekend after. They definitely need to try and prove themselves in those 2 games where they might see themselves start sliding down these rankings. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame, but it just seems like they have this issue with quarterbacks. No matter who the coach is, that you get these like B-rated quarterbacks who never flourish to do what everybody expects them to do. A la Jimmy Clausen, what's this guy Brady Quinn? Guys like that. You think they give you hope, but they the expectation of this team is just like the expectation of those guys' NFL career. And I know that's so messed up to say, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's the truth. I'm sorry, Chris. It's the truth. It's true. I know you love them. Hey, look, you're undefeated. I have a loss, so I have no room to talk. Okay. But if we're being honest, I just think that they're a great regular season team and you might go unblemished, but you play some strong Big 12 team or Big 10 teams and ACC teams. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I don't know what to think of it, Chris. I look, they had some bad games, but look, did they get the W?
They did.
That's what matters. I understand they're like bad losses and they're close, but dude, it's top 10. If you finish out strong, look, if you're meant to lose, you're meant to lose, but you haven't lost yet. So I can't be negative on you guys. And I understand that, same thing. I feel the same way about my team. We lost and I have some negative things to say, but like, look, I can't rag on Notre Dame. I like Jack Cohn. I do. I think he's fantastic. No matter if he did throw 50%, I think he's a solid quarterback, man, with a good arm. So you're getting W's, and that's enough in my opinion.
Yeah, and they just have to make sure they keep it together when they go up against not only a top 15 team, but also a top 10 team. So we'll definitely see what we get, though, once we get the next week and they play Wisconsin.
Who's the top 10 team you're playing?
Cincinnati in 2 weeks.
Oh, you'll beat them.
Should. We'll see.
If not, I'm going to rag on you so bad.
Oh, man, I'll rag on myself. I hope I can find memes for Meme Madness just to make fun of it. But that is the final score top 10. We're going to take a look at some of our teams to watch, starting with your Florida Gators, man, 2-1, but that one was probably the closest one that there is. And Florida, man, I think they got a legitimate team going forward.
I think we'll go with the one loss until Georgia. I think, look, I'm gonna be honest, man. EJ, we can talk about him all we want, but and say negative things. But look, when the type of quarterback that he is, you saw on that back arm throw to Rick Wells, and no one else was able to get that ball but Rick Wells. That's when EJ plays like that, it's fantastic to watch him play. And the way dude, we were ripping off runs on Alabama. Look at the stat sheet. We were, it was crazy. On one drive alone, Naquan Wright had 75 yards. It was crazy, man. Mm-hmm. Like who just does that? Your first time coming into the game in the third quarter, you just rip off a whole. That's a 99-yard drive we had. Naquan Wright just carved them up, man. So I'm loving this Florida team going forward. Expect them to be in the top 5 by the end of the year. I'm not even joking. With the way this season is going, it's very different. Not your prototypical season that you typically get from the SEC. It's wide open, and Florida's bridged the gap. I think, losing. We shouldn't have lost by 2 points. We should be in overtime, and we don't know. The unknown, the great unknown, dude. That's what's killing me is, what if we never missed the. It could be a 30 for 30. What if the field goal was never missed or something? Oh, but no, it kills me, man. It kills me how good this team is this year, and who knows? Maybe we'll see him again.
You never know. You just might. But looking at our next team to watch, the Ole Miss Rebels, who are now 3-0 themselves and have just been ripping it off. This is Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss. Keep in mind, they've been making it happen, especially with Matt Corral, who went 23-31, 335 yards and 3 touchdowns against Tulane, who they blew out by 40. And Ole Miss just keeps making it happen, man. It's been absolutely crazy to see what they've done. What do you think?
I like Matt Corral. I like Lane Kiffin's offensive mind. He's a great coach. I mean, he all in all, man. I think Ole Miss is gonna really pay dividends for hiring, Kiffin. So I like them. I think they're a team to watch, and I think they're going to be undefeated when they play Bama. So that's going to be a heck of a game. Don't be surprised if they get upset.
Oh yeah,
Alabama.
for sure. And Ole Miss has been that team that's always been a thorn in Alabama's side over the years. So definitely could see it happening. But our last team to watch is one other than the Michigan Wolverines, who it looks like Harbaugh finally has found a quarterback in Cade McNamara, and has a pretty good running game as well as talented receivers. He has it all in a defense to boot as they blow out Northern Illinois 63-10 in their past game. So do you think Michigan's back, man? Is this good ad here?
No, man. You put this on here so I can rip on them. Dude, this is no. What the hell are we wasting seconds and minutes on this pod? We're wasting. Was it fine?
But they are what we thought they were.
Exactly. Hold on. We're wasting we're wasting whoever's hosting this glorious podcast time by talking about Michigan. There we go. We're PSN. That's where we're wasting your time by talking about the Michigan Wolverines. That's my answer. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, no, they're not back, Chris. They're as back as Florida State and Miami are back. Okay. The Big Ten. Who have they played? Northwestern. You beat them. Oh my God, good job. Like who did you beat? Who did they beat? Who are they?
Washington, who lost to Montana, Northern Illinois, and Western Michigan.
There you go. And there you go. So until they go undefeated and beat Ohio State for 2 years or 3 years in a row, you're not going to hear me ever say Michigan's back, because they're not back. They haven't been back since like 1998.
Oh, man, going that far back. Ryan Gaskins in the chat saying Matt Corral, best quarterback in college football.
Yeah, that guy needs to reevaluate his life. I'm sorry, Matt Corral. Matt Corral is not the best quarterback in college football. It's actually Anthony Richardson. Okay, I'm being a homer.
I was a little bit of a homer. I would even take Bryce Young at this point, but
no. Honestly, Bryce Young's doing great, but I'm going to tell you right now, if Emory Jones plays well or Richardson plays well, how are you going to not acknowledge them as explosive players?
True story.
This argument can go on and on and on and on and on.
It definitely could, but let's look at our games to watch for Week 4, and definitely some good ones coming up, including a matchup of ranked teams between Notre Dame and Wisconsin that will take place at neutral site at Soldier Field. That will be Notre Dame's Shamrock Series game, so they'll have some special uniforms and all that kind of stuff as Jack Cohen takes on his former team in Wisconsin, as well as an SEC showdown of undefeateds between Texas A&M and the very surprising Arkansas Razorbacks, who have been looking pretty dominant themselves. That one figures to be a pretty good game. And then Michigan at 3-0 will take on a surprising 3-0 Rutgers squad in Big Ten play to open the Big Ten season. So definitely some interesting games to watch this weekend. Definitely make sure to check them all out. But yeah, man, definitely going to be some great football this weekend. What do you think?
I'm excited. College football has always got its intriguing matchups this week. I think Notre Dame, Wisconsin's going to be great. TAMU, Arkansas, Rutgers, Michigan. They're all going to be good games. I'm excited, man. The slate is always good. You got Tennessee, Florida at 6:00. We're going to kick the crap out of them. So yeah, expect that game to be in like the 50. We're going to beat them like 50-14. I'm not even kidding.
Oof, man, putting it.
Don't be surprised when you're gonna text me on Saturday and go, "Damn, you called it."
I'll definitely
I'll screenshot it and forward it to everyone.
I'll take full admission of being wrong.
I think it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Oh, definitely could be. We'll see what we get. But you know what else you get is some great stuff with all of our content platforms. What can you tell us about that, Ivan?
Yeah. Oh my God. I was like not prepared. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, guys, all our content platforms for audio. It's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Player FM, Bullhorn, Castbox, Listen Notes. If you want to look at us on video, go on YouTube or Facebook and look us up on FinalScore. Also search PSN FinalScore. Also podcastcity.net/FinalScore, and then hit the like, follow, and subscribe button, guys. Get us going.
Absolutely. Definitely great stuff. But it's now time for our trivia T-shirt giveaway, the part of the show everybody's been waiting for, as we're going to give away a T-shirt as long as you can answer the trivia question in the actual live chat for our live broadcast. Be the first one up there, and then you can win yourself a nice, spanking, brand new, any choice of color T-shirt that says Final Score. Definitely going to be some great stuff. And I got a great question for this week, too. I don't know if you're ready for this, man. All right.
I'm ready.
Here we go. So, question is, who is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl?
That's a good one.
You know, I do what I can. Yeah, this one was a really hard one. So definitely, if you got the answer to this question, post it up in the chat and win yourself a Final Score T-shirt. This will stay standing until we actually get an answer. So if we don't even have an answer by the end of the show, we'll be posting it up on our social media for you guys to respond to, and so we can give away a free Final Score T-shirt. So one more time, the question is, who is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl? And I think this one, once people see it, are going to be like, oh, that makes sense. It's going to be a good one. But definitely make sure to also check out all the great Final Score merch that we have if you don't win yourself a T-shirt over at the Podcast City Network shop, because whether it's a neck gaiter to protect you from COVID-19, a mug for your morning coffee, or a T-shirt just to look cool, we got you covered. Get the latest apparel and gear for your favorite podcast and Podcast City Network by visiting podcastcity.net/shop and checking out the lineup. But now that means it is time to talk about our NFL Week 3 predictions. And Week 1, we missed Week 2, but Week 1, both of us ended up going 10-6 in our picks. Absolutely doing some good work there, sir, I gotta say.
Yeah, I know. We look like professionals or something.
Yeah, it's like we might know what we're doing a little bit. Who knows?
Right? Maybe.
But this week, I think we're going to have some challenging ones for Week 3, and we're going to hit it right off the top. Carolina Panthers at the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are going to be without Tyrod Taylor and are going to be switching to an unknown quarterback at this time. I don't even know if they've named a starter yet. But Carolina Panthers also rolling up 2-0 after giving an absolute beatdown to the Panthers. Who do you got in this one, Ivan?
Definitely got the Panthers in this one, Chris.
Yeah, I definitely have.
I think Darnold and the nucleus of receivers there with, Terrence Marshall, you got DJ Moore, and also Robbie Anderson. Those guys are a strong receiving core. That's a good number 1, 2, 3 there, man. And also gotta love the running game in CMC. So I just think they're going to take this one strongly. Like you just said, I don't even think the Texans have a quarterback with that debacle going on with Watson. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely going to be bad for the Texans all the way around, honestly. And I think what they're turning to is Davis Mills, who's the next one listed on the depth chart for the Houston Texans. So, yeah, I don't know anything even about
I can go play and probably for a quarter, I can try out.
Dude, man, you might have a better shot, man. They might actually have a shot at scoring. Who knows?
Oh man!
But that's
burn.
But that's our Thursday. Oh my God!
Got him.
Got him. Absolutely, man.
It's over 9,000.
Exactly.
Oh man! But looking at our Sunday games, our 1 p.m. games, Washington football team taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Washington coming off that narrow victory against the New York Giants, but we'll be now still without Ryan Fitzpatrick, as they still will turn back to Tyler Haneke to try and get things going against Josh Allen and these Bills. Who you got in this one, Ivan?
Yeah, I got the Bills in this. I just don't think Washington football teams, I don't think their offense is up to snuff. And I think Buffalo's just got a lot of firepower, man, especially with, that really good tandem of Diggs and, oh my God, I can't even think of the quarterback's name. Look at that. I should go. And there you go. Josh Allen. Allen and Diggs have such a good rapport. If you look at them on the sideline and see how happy and it jazzed up they get, they're each other's hype, man. So it's pretty good to see, man. And I think that chemistry is going to lead to a hell of a lot of W's this year. Even though they have a loss already, I just see great things for the Bills, don't you, this year? So I think this has to be a win against a struggling Washington team.
Oh yeah, definitely have to agree. I think the Buffalo Bills defense is going to be way too much for Taylor Heinicke really to take. The Washington football team will figure to play at least good defensively from their side, having Chase Young and a great pressuring defense. But I still think
Oh
the
yeah.
Buffalo Bills offense is way too strong to be able to take advantage and win this game. But our next game, we got the Chicago Bears, who will now be turning to Justin Fields in the wake of the Andy Dalton injury against the Cleveland Browns. Both teams coming in 1-1. Ivan, who do you got?
I got the Browns in this one, but to throw some shade on Chicago, dude, this guy Andy Dalton could have fell on the ground and scraped his knee. They were going to sit him out for like 2 games. Come on, man. They just want to see. They just want to give Fields any opportunity to play, man. So, regardless of the whole hype, I think the Browns take this easily.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the Browns defense will be way, way too much for Justin Fields to be able to handle in his first career start. So the Browns, I think, will dominate pretty easily, and the Cleveland offense will be able just to give whatever the Browns defense ends up giving them and be able to take it down and score. So the Browns are way too talented, and I think the Browns are going to end up taking this one too. Our next game, though, we're going to see the Baltimore Ravens travel on over to take on the Detroit Lions. Detroit not looking all that great so far this season, which I don't even know why that says 1-1. Let's be honest. There it is. 0-2 on the season. But the Baltimore Ravens getting that absolute classic of a win against Kansas City, I think have proven that they are definitely going to be a team to beat, not only in the AFC but in the NFL. But I definitely think the Ravens are going to end up taking this one. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I think it's going to be easy for Lamar and gang. I think it's going to be really easy. Andrew should put up some yards and a touchdown. I do like Jared Goff, and I do like actually what they're doing over there. So, kudos to Detroit. I know they're 0-2, but they played a hell of a game for the first half last night or Monday night. So I like what the offense gives. It's not bad with DeAndre Swift. So they're good, but I just don't think they're going to beat the Ravens. I just think that they're pretty high off that win against KC. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I think that high is going to just keep on carrying them for a bit. But looking at our next game, we got the 0-2 Indianapolis Colts, who will now be also without Carson Wentz, who injured both of his ankles, go figure, who will be playing at the Tennessee Titans, who now boast a 1-1 record after their, shocking win. But this one, I think the Titans have shown that they are back. Derrick Henry is running good. Offense is starting to click. Defense is starting to come together a little bit. And I think the Titans are going to end up being able to take this one against the Colts, who are also, like I said, going to be without Wentz, going to be without their starting quarterback, which will be a huge blow to this offense. So I think Titans win it, and I think they win it convincingly. What do you think, Ivan?
I second that, Chris. I have nothing to add other than I hope they give A.J. Brown the ball more.
Oh, yeah. I definitely could see that happening, too. But our next game, the LA Chargers at 1-1 travel into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who are also 1-1 after that surprising loss to the Baltimore Ravens. LA Chargers, though, not looking as solid as a lot would have hoped, but I really think the Chiefs are going to be the better team here in this AFC West showdown, and I think the Chiefs are going to end up taking this one too. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs. It's going to be a hell of a game. Maybe the best game of the week. Mark my words.
Ooh.
I have a crush on Justin Herbert. I love LA. I think they're such a good team with an explosive offense. I mean, Austin Eckler went from a backup to a premier running back in the league. I mean, how the hell is that? When does that happen anymore? So I love what this Chargers team brings to the table, man. So I'm very happy that there's such a clash of two great teams. So I do pick KC, but slightly, and I mean like 3 points slightly.
That's tight. That's real tight. Our next game,
I believe it, man. Watch.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Our next game, though, we got the 1-1 New Orleans Saints traveling on over into Foxborough to take on the 1-1 New England Patriots. Patriots looking pretty strong after finally getting their first win of the season. The Saints, though, looking dismal after getting dominated by the Carolina Panthers. I think the Patriots will end up taking this one on the arm of Mac Jones, and of course that great coaching of Bill Belichick. And I think you're going to see the Saints fall to 1-2. What do you think, Ivan?
I second that. I think the LASIK surgery wore off for Jameis. So I think it's wore off to the point where he's going to go back to throwing like 4 picks a game or 5 picks a game. So, I mean, Kamara looked stagnant this year. No, what did he do in the first game? He didn't do anything.
No.
And last week he did nothing again. Like he has been so disappointing. But maybe that's on Sean Payton. I don't know, but we'll have to see what they bring to the table this week. But I do like the Patriots in convincing fashion.
Oh yeah, and I have to agree. It feels like the Saints' play calling has been a little bit off this year.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Kind of hurting them a bit. Maybe they just don't know what they're doing quite yet with the offense. They haven't really quite found their identity. Maybe, who knows? But we'll definitely see once they come out of that game. The Atlanta Falcons, though, at 0-2, will be taking on the also 0-2 New York Giants, which we got a funny joke about the Giants and their 0-2 start a little bit later. But the Giants and Falcons both looking pretty weak, so this is a battle of the toilet. Giants at home, I think, will get the edge and will end up winning this game narrowly. What do you think, Ivan?
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. One of them's coming out with a victory at least. That's one thing to be happy about, right?
Someone has to win.
Someone has to freaking win, right? I think the reason why the Giants are playing so I'm just gonna say it, they're playing so shitty is because they're being so timid with Saquon. They don't want to.
Yes.
They don't want to re-aggravate anything. They don't want to worry about that. They don't want any of that. They'd rather take the lumps and ass beatings this year and have people pissed off internally and talk shit on social media and deal with that this year and then have a Saquon healthier next year. Maybe can do like 15 to 20 carries a game. Maybe. You don't want to kill the damn guy. But, I definitely feel that, New York's going to win this game. But the Falcons, I mean, look, Matt Jones is past his prime. I really do think that they're going to draft a quarterback this year and he's going to be on his way. But, yeah, man, I'm not too high on the Falcons. But, look, they're still a good team. And I think they're a better team than the Giants. But I just think the Giants are just – I like the rapport of Daniel Jones with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton and those guys over there in New York. So I think the Giants have this.
Absolutely. Looking at our next game, though, we're going to see the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, another battle of 1-1s. Steelers looking pretty strong, though. Not as strong, though, after coming off that loss to the Raiders. Bengals, though, also coming off a loss. So definitely going to be interesting to see both these teams trying to get back on track. I think the Steelers have the better overall team when you start looking down the line of Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool. They will be without TJ Watt, however. So who knows exactly what the defense is going to look like in replacement. But I still think the Steelers will be able to do enough to take this game. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I think the Steelers are going to do enough. I think Najee looks pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. I also think, but I like Cincy, man. I know I picked Pittsburgh to win this game, but I like Cincy. I like what they got with Boyd, Chase, and forget the last guy, but what's his name? Higbee, maybe I think, but no, they got a good core of players in Pittsburgh Cincinnati. But my thing is it's all about Joe Mixon. If Mixon gets involved, you could have a better game for Joe Burrow and the gang. But I just think that with a veteran quarterback like Big Ben, they're going to go out there and do well. But then again, hey, watch out, he's questionable. So the game hinges on that, on the health of Ben Roethlisberger. So
yeah,
let's not forget that.
Absolutely agree, and that is something that they're going to have to be watching out for as the week wears on. Our last 1 o'clock game, though, we're going to see the 2-0 Arizona Cardinals taking on the 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. I think this game, honestly, not much that needs to be said. Cardinals are going to win this one pretty handedly, hands down. What do you think, Ivan?
I think Kyler could be on the bench by halftime, personally.
Oh, yeah.
I think it could be 35-0 by halftime. That's how bad this is going to be. I love Urban Meyer. Thank you for the whole Florida experience, kind of. But, like, at the end of the day, man, I just think who would have thought Cliff Kingsbury, man? Who would have thought he would be this good as a coach in the NFL? I think about this all the time. I'll never forget. I mocked, and I apologize to Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. I mock them, and I'm emphatically mocking them. And I was like, you know what? This is a joke. What the hell is this? There's nothing that's going to come out of this. Boy, was I wrong. Was I wrong? This team is explosive. They're fun to watch. I love watching Arizona play. Kyler was my fantasy quarterback last year, so I loved watching them. They had the Andre Hopkins. I mean, dude, what else can you say? I mean, you see that bomb to Kirk last week for that touchdown? It's crazy. There's always a big play in Arizona games, man.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, and it's going to be interesting to see how they honestly pick apart the Jacksonville defense. I think we're going to see a lot of big plays out of the Cardinals this week.
I think they're ranked 32.
I think so.
Defensively, you know what I mean? The worst in the league, I want to say. So
yeah,
play all your Cardinals this week in fantasy.
Oh yeah, including that Cardinals defense, who sure is get some turnovers against Trevor Lawrence. But looking at our first 405 game, we got the New York Jets at 0-2 taking on the Denver Broncos, Mile High, who are now sporting a 2-0 record themselves. This one is going to be interesting. Zach Wilson has been dismal so far, already being booed by New York Jets fans. I don't think he's the answer. Denver Broncos, though, making it happen with Teddy Bridgewater. I think the Broncos are going to be able to piece enough together, though. It won't be pretty, but I think they'll win good against the Jets. What do you think, Ivan?
You know, I feel bad for that kid. I really do. Zach Wilson, he looks good. He's athletic. I just think he's going to suffer what happens to all these quarterbacks that people go gaga over because of their college tape and all their numbers and shit that they look at during like pro days. It's cute. But when it comes to real games, when you don't play SEC defenses and look at Joe Burrow, there's a difference between someone who's ready and someone who's not. Zach Wilson was not a first-round quarterback, okay? Let alone a top 3 freaking pick or however early he went, okay? So let's be honest, dude. It's a mockery to go into a game and have you had 4 interceptions. And I mean, he luckily eclipsed 100 yards, but for a while there, it looked like he wouldn't even do that. So there's without question, Denver blows them out. But look, I mean, it's his first year, man. I'm not gonna rail this kid until we get to 2 or the third year, and then when the tracks really fall off, dude, I'm gonna lay into him. Then I can go, this guy was the biggest bust of all time in Jets history.
Man, that's saying something heavy.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, dude, if you're a top 3 pick and you don't provide, you know what that expectation with the tag of what that expectation is for that pick, yes, you're right. I mean, the New York Jets, that will be the biggest bust in their franchise's history, in my opinion. There's without a shadow of a doubt. If you could find one better for me, I'd love to hear it. But dude, you go top 3 pick or top 5, and you start your career this way hey, look, hell, we can be wrong. He can have a hell of a freaking season, right? It's terrible, right? They don't win a game, but next year they can be phenomenal because maybe they get more practice under their belt. They draft what if they draft a stud running back or a stud offensive lineman or some kind of stud receiver with their next top 3 pick next year? You know what I mean? So I don't want to jump the gun with writing this kid off yet, Chris, but yeah, I don't think the Jets are winning a game this year.
Ooh.
So,
man, definitely be interesting.
I mean, dude, dude?
No, I have to agree.
Belichick killed that guy. That might have made him never want to play football again. Seriously.
Definitely could.
That does something to him, man. You throwing 4 picks in a game, dude?
Yeah, it does
something. I can't even get 4 picks in NCAA football. Come on. In a game. In a game, Chris.
Oh, man. But looking at our next game, the Miami Dolphins travel on over to Vegas to take on the Raiders, who are now sporting a 2-0 record themselves. This one's definitely going to be interesting for a number of reasons, seeing the Raiders and their surprising start after getting huge wins against the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers to start the season. The Dolphins 1-1 after their start. Who do you think ends up taking this game, Ivan?
It's definitely going to be the Raiders. I do like Miami. This is a bang pick. Like, you know, Dolphins could win this game, but you know, I know that Derek Carr is questionable, and also Josh Jacobs is also questionable. I don't think he's going to play, but I think Carr will play.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be just fine. I know Carr is leading the NFL in passing. Um, they're going to be just fine, dude. I honestly think that Miami's going to put up a fight. I think they're. I don't know if Tua is going to play, but if
No,
Tua
he's.
plays,
I think he's been
maybe.
ruled. I think he's been ruled out already.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, then I think the Raiders could hand them a big ass beating.
Oh yeah, for
So.
sure, and I have to agree with that as well. With Tua out, there's no way I think the Dolphins have a chance. They don't have Ryan Fitzpatrick to fall on now anymore. So, yeah, I think this is the Raiders. We're going to see be 3-0. But our first 425 game is a battle of 2-0s, and what I think could be one of the best games of the weekend. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the LA Rams. It's going to be Brady versus Stafford. It's going to be one hell of a game that I think is going to go all the way down to the wire with two great defenses as well. Who do you think ends up taking this one, Ivan?
I can't wait to see this game. I'm just glad I don't play anybody that has a Tampa Bay Buccaneer in fantasy, right? Um, I do pick. I think the Bucks are going to take this one. I do like LA. Matt Stafford is my quarterback on my fantasy team, one of them. So I like LA. I like the pieces. I think their offense is high octane. I think they have the pieces to hang with Tampa. But I just think Tampa is just so good right now, man. They're if you watch them play, I mean Brady's just going off. It's hard. It's crazy to tell you that Brady might be having the greatest start of his season of his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says it's the best start he's had since
That's
he won the MVP back in 07.
insane, dude. Insane. And this guy is old enough to be our like dad.
Yeah, that's true.
What the hell, dude? What the hell?
Oh,
It's crazy,
man.
man.
It is crazy. However, I have to disagree with you. I think the Rams are going to end up taking this one because of that great defense that they have. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback a little bit easier and be able to put pressure on Brady to be able to make just a couple mistakes. Because let's remember, the Bucs haven't been winning very pretty. It's been wins, but it hasn't been pretty. And I think that it's finally going to come bite them in the butt once they're playing against a good defense. So I think the Rams will end up taking this one. But in our next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at 1-1, traveling on over to Minnesota to take on the 0-2 Vikings. This one's going to be interesting for a number of reasons, just because we got Russell Wilson and company trying to make a nice bounce back. Minnesota Vikings looking dismal to start the season. Who do you think ends up taking this one, Ivan?
I think the Vikes are going to get their first win of the season. I love Dalvin Cook. I think if you look at the numbers, Dalvin Cook has been pretty damn solid this year in his first two games, and the Seahawks defense has been one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. So I think, look at what Derrick Henry did to him last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that the Seahawks will lose this game on the legs of Derrick Henry and on the play action passing of Kirk Cousins. And I don't like Cousins at all, but I think that they'll get the results they expect this game.
Absolutely. I have to disagree with you, though. I think Seattle ends up taking this one. I think behind the legs of Chris Carson and the arm of Russell Wilson, be able to finally mix in DK Metcalf a little bit more. We'll be able to offensively, I think, expose this defense a little bit and be able to get up and down the field to be able to win this game. So we'll definitely see, though, once we get to this weekend. But looking at our Sunday night game, the Green Bay Packers coming off their huge win against the Detroit Lions. We're traveling down to San Francisco to take on the 2-0 49ers, coming off their win against the Eagles. This one's going to be interesting, I think, for a number of reasons, because a lot of people still have question marks when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. He starts out the first game looking like a bum. Second game looks like an all-pro. And people, I think, at this point don't know what to expect from Aaron Rodgers. And I think the defense also for the 49ers won't know what to expect from Aaron Rodgers, which is also why I think Aaron Rodgers is back. He's playing his best ball that he can right now, and I think they're going to end up going out and beating the 49ers. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I think they're going to handle the 49ers. I just think that game wasn't an aberration of anything. I just think that it was getting the kinks out of his game. And look, he threw a 50-yard dime to Adams last night, mm-hmm. So clearly he hasn't, lost his game whatsoever. So I think the Packers are going to be just fine, and they'll take care of San Francisco.
Absolutely. And then looking at our last game, the Monday night game, where we see my Philadelphia Eagles at 1-1 taking on the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys. Eagles are looking like a stronger squad than what a lot of people were letting on. However, they will be out without the right guard, Brandon Brooks, but still return all the rest of their pieces. Dallas Cowboys, though, still riding high after their win 20-17. Who do you think ends up taking this one, man?
I know you always pick the Eagles no matter what. Okay.
Not always.
So I'm just gonna say this is a rivalry game if I'm correct, and I
Yes.
will say that the Cowboys will win this. Dak's been playing fantastic. I can't dispute that, and they still have Zeke, they still have Coop, still have just a plethora of weapons, man. So I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to keep up with them. I don't think. Look, I like Hurts and I like what they got there, but it's just not enough to compete with the Cowboys, man.
I think the Eagles' defense is better than what people let on, having held the 49ers to 17, and of course, saw what they did to the Atlanta Falcons. Jalen Hurts in that offense is starting to get going a little bit. They will be without Zach Ertz because he's now been on the COVID list, but I think the Eagles will have just enough to be able to eke this one out. Cowboys are definitely a better team than they were, but I think this one's going to go all the way down to the wire, and I think the Eagles are going to end up taking this one out. And I don't always pick the Eagles, just, like 99% of the time.
Right. Yeah. 100.
But that is our week 3 predictions. Let us know in the chat what you guys think, or if you think we're a bunch of bums, or if you absolutely agree. It doesn't matter. Let us know in the chat. But it's time to talk a little bit about Podcast City Network. What can you tell us about that, Ivan?
So, guys, Final Score is a proud member of Podcast City Network. Podcast City Network has 20 independent podcast members across all genres of podcasting. Find PCN on all major social media platforms. That includes Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. You can find it on Twitter at Podcast City Net, Instagram at Podcast City Net as well. YouTube, just search the keyword Podcast City Network. Also, just go to the website as well, podcastcity.net. So, guys, we are always looking for interested podcast hosts and content creators to join the network, but we understand that may not be what you're looking for right now. You may just need a new logo, an outro, intro, music, video for your show, live stream hosting for live broadcasters, voiceover work, or just some one-on-one consulting. No matter the need, we have you covered. Just go to podcastcity.net/services and fill out the contact form for an estimate so we can help you reach your podcasting goals. Be creative, be independent, be yourself. Podcast City Network. Bam.
Beautiful. Love it. Which now brings us to our next topic. Ben Simmons, who says he will not report to camp and that he is done with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this is, I guess, surprising, not surprising for some, since Simmons hasn't spoken to the team since a late August meeting when he communicated this message to Sixers officials. So this has been an ever-deteriorating situation. What's your initial reaction to this?
This has been ongoing since that playoff debacle where literally this all stems from him not being able to go up and dunk a damn basketball, dude. I mean, come on. Like, this is a big-ass playoff game, and then you go and you want to act like a damn child. It's just stupid, in my opinion. It's just he's being a drama queen. And, look, learn to shoot the damn 3-ball. We wouldn't be talking about this shit right now.
True story. And Simmons is clearly aware of sanctions available to the organization to fine and suspend him, including withholding of salary.
Oh, yeah, they should.
Yeah, but so far, Simmons appears willing to carry out a plan to force his way to a new team. And it just gets uglier and uglier by the day. Do you think the 76ers are going to be able to recover from this?
Yeah, getting him the hell out of there is the first step of being to recovery. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they can get something for him, but what value does he have to anyone? You know what? Trade him to Orlando. I'm sure they need him.
I'm sure Orlando would take him with open arms at this point.
Dude, they always rehabilitate these former number ones that become ass. So, we'll see what happens with Ben Simmons, but it's kind of disgusting to see how players act about certain things. They get their feelings hurt. Back in the day, if we got our feelings hurt, we just took that shit home and just dealt with it. Has nothing to do with whatever. It's just that's how coaching and player relationships go. Now, if you have a opinion, This is what happens, and people want to get babied and stuff. Like it doesn't work like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a sport that everyone watches, and people have they have a job, a profession on critiquing you. Get over it. If you don't like it, then get better. Dunk the damn ball, dude. What the hell?
Absolutely, man. And it's just crazy that that's all this is stemmed from is that dunk, man. Like,
yeah, literally. And the perception of the team on him, he's so ashamed that he doesn't want to go back to the organization because everybody knows they don't want his ass. So, I mean, take that the way that you want, but we all know that Sixers officials are going to get rid of his ass. It's just as simple as that. You don't want a cancer in your locker room, and he's already said he doesn't want to be there. Then get rid of his ass. He doesn't need to be there. He's not helping you win any playoff games anyway. Clearly, okay? Get rid of him.
Yeah, and they need to ASAP. Absolutely agree. But before we move on to our next segment, we have to put out the T-shirt giveaway question one more time. Who is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl? If you have the answer, go ahead and throw it in the chat and win yourself a free Final Score T-shirt, which if you're wearing a Final Scores T-shirt, you can go ahead and wear it on over to City Limits Tap Room. Don't know what I'm talking about? Go visit 2620 North Woodland Boulevard in beautiful DeLand, Florida, and check out all the great things they have going on over there, whether it's live music or karaoke, great drink specials, or all the sports that you can handle. They got you covered. Plus all the great specials that they have every day of the week, including Monday with all-day $6 wing baskets and $5 pitchers of Yingling, Landshark, and Busch Light. Tuesday with Guys Night, half off all wells and drafts from 7 p.m. to close. Wednesdays, all-day $5 pitchers of the posted beer from 2 p.m. to close, and $2 seltzers at the outside bar. Thursdays, Ladies Night with $1 wines, wells, and drafts from 7 p.m. to close. And Fridays, Karaoke with Al, great friends of the network, from 7 p.m. to close. And Sunday, $13 domestic buckets and $16 import and craft buckets all day long. So go visit City Limits Tap Room in beautiful DeLand, Florida, which means we're now going to be presenting our good old meme madness. Definitely got a great one stacked for this week, so definitely strap in. And if you're listening on our audio portion, go visit our YouTube channel and search keyword Final Score. That way you can see the video portion of this, or go to our Facebook at PCN Final Score and search the video for episode 121 so you can check out all the dope memes that we post. But we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our first one that shows Texas happy about joining the SEC. Well, there's Arkansas.
Exactly.
Oh, it's too good. Too good. Our second one, though, says there are 16-year-olds in Cleveland who have never seen the Browns start a season 1-0. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. It's been that long since we've ever seen Cleveland win an opener.
It is sad, but every dog has their day, apparently.
Yeah, right. Our next one says, glad to see the Bears defense is still taking precaution against COVID-19 and are socially distancing. Oh, it's good. Definitely a good one. And this next one comes from our good friend, Meme God Jimmy, great friend of the show, who's also a huge Raiders fan and got to see the Raiders beat the Ravens. And if you didn't see the end of that game, it was very back and forth. Started with the Raiders win or not. Carr interception, Lamar fumble. Now the Raiders win. It literally, the end of that game was just pure pandemonium. So absolutely great meme to encompass it. Oh, me. But looking at our next one, see Aaron Rodgers here with the Packers saying, come on, Aaron, we're losing. Rodgers says, nah, y'all are losing. Oh,
that's crazy. I love this meme, the Vince meme.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Our next meme is making fun of the New York Giants, who have started 0-2 every single year since 2015. That's right, 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, and this year, 2021, the Giants have started 0-2. You know what's funny? You know what also started this is when they took that dumb picture on that boat all together. So, just saying. Just saying.
But, damn, that's savage, whoever made that. Oh my God. I feel bad for the Giants, dude. You guys are evil. Leave the Giants alone. They're trying, damn it.
Fly Eagles fly,
who the hell
baby.
picks Daniel Jones? Would you have picked Daniel Jones?
Oh, hell
Who
no.
the hell? Dude, Chris, who the hell would have picked Daniel Jones other than the Giants? Please tell me.
Nobody. I don't see anybody.
He would have
picking
won
him
the
up.
7th round to the Giants.
Yeah, exactly. They could
So
have got him way later.
my point, dude. What the hell are you wasting? Oh my god, I don't have the patience to do this tonight with Daniel Jones. Whatever, man.
But you know who does have the patience? Kyler Murray's. He was hitting that baby Yoda pose after he scored a touchdown this past weekend.
Facts. I watched that game. That was a hell of a game.
Yeah, it was. It went all the way down to the wire. Oh, my goodness. But our next one says Aaron Rodgers looks like he steals catalytic converters.
He does. Look at him in that picture, dude. He looks like a drug addict, like he's waking up from a rough night. Whew.
Oh, yeah,
Looking
for
rough.
sure. Oh, man. But our next one says Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Tom Brady. Oh, my goodness. I can't even see right now. The league all of a sudden is full of great young quarterbacks that are going to dominate the next decade.
Pretty much.
Oh, it's so funny to see Tom Brady included in there. Even though he
He
said
is.
recently that he definitely would play to 50, so I don't know.
Imagine that. Like, what the actual hell, dude? Like, oh, I'm in the league for 30 years.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be crazy, dude? Oh my God. 50 years old, dude. What the actual hell? A 50-year-old man.
We've
Couldn't
seen
believe
guys
that.
come into the league, put up ridiculous careers, retire, and make the Hall of Fame while we're still watching Tom Brady play. Like, it's crazy. Like, Calvin Johnson's a perfect example. Came in after Brady, retired before Brady is already in the Hall of Fame. Brady is still playing. So,
Yep.
absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But that is the end of our meme madness, and we thank you guys so much for joining us again. If you're listening to audio portions, you can go to YouTube or Facebook and search Final Score and look for episode 121 in our video section. That way you can see the great meme madness and all the great memes that we have posted week to week. A lot of great stuff in there, so definitely make sure to go and check it out. But that does bring us, again, to Podcast City Network. What can you tell us about that, Ivan?
Have you guys always wanted to start a podcast but didn't know how? Do you already have a podcast but don't know how to grow it? Are you trying to find ways to make your podcast profitable? You can learn to do it here at Podcast City Network. We offer consulting services and tutorial classes to help you, to help with learning to better expand your knowledge and to grow your show. We also give access to our network of shows or help with cross-promotion, guests, and overall reach while also becoming part of our ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. The best part is no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Go to podcastcity.net/join now and join the fastest growing independent podcast network around, Podcast City Network.
Yeah, hit it up. And that brings us to the good old Give or Go. And we got a couple good topics for this week, starting with our first one. The Arizona Coyotes put in a $1.7 billion proposal to build an arena in Tempe. Now, this one, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go on a little bit just because it's been a crazy debacle to see the de-evolution of the agreement Arizona originally had with the city of Phoenix to now try and move the team to Tempe just to try and stay in the Arizona area. It's been absolutely crazy, but a $1.7 billion arena, I don't know.
They don't win
about
enough
that.
games.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
thinking the same thing. What kind of nonsense is that? Like who the hell? Arizona Coyotes? No, man. First of all, I used to love the Phoenix Coyotes when they had Keith Kachuk and Jeremy Roenick. The fact that they moved out of Phoenix pisses me off. That's another story for another day. I do like hockey, but I do think that's crazy. Arizona hasn't done enough to get it. And no, like that's absurd. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give that shit away.
Yeah, that one's absolutely ridiculous. But our next one is JJ Redick announces his retirement after 15 NBA seasons. Give or go, Ivan.
I'm gonna go on that one. I think I like JJ Redick, man. Being from Orlando and watching him and stuff like that, and also watching him at Duke. It's sad to watch. It's always sad to watch the beginning and end of a career. Like, well, it's what I mean. You watch the duration of a career, and if it's a full one like Peyton Manning's, you're like, damn. we won't see anything ever like that again in our lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
like Tom Brady. That's never gonna happen again. I'm sorry. It's just, I mean, Mahomes is great, but as you can see, dude, like shit happens. Tampa came back and won a Super Bowl and ruined that great run that KC was supposed to have. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's just kind of crazy, man. But yeah, no, I am sad to see JJ Redick go though.
Yeah.
To exit that out. But no, yeah. Yeah, he is good, but I think we're gonna be fine with what happens in the future of the NBA. 15 seasons is enough for JJ Redick, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. The all-time college 3-point shooting leader. Played for 6 NBA teams. Definitely hats off to him. Loved you when you were in Orlando. And definitely he retired because he said he wanted to spend more time being a dad, which, you can't knock the guy for that. So
yeah, you can't, dude. Are you an asshole? If you're like, oh, dude, it's not like he was hitting threes anywhere anyway. That's fucked up. But whatever.
Oh, man. But hats off to JJ Redick. Had a great career, and see you again sometime. But that is the end of our good old Give or Go, which does bring us to Podchaser, because Apple Podcasts is no longer the only credible source for podcast discovery. You can follow creators, browse every podcast ever, and rate and review episodes. Just go to podchaser.com and search keyword FinalScore, one word, and follow, rate, and review us. Which now does bring us to the week ahead, which, of course, we have all the NFL Week 3 action that we gave you our predictions to earlier. So definitely make sure to check out the games and come join us next week to see if we were right or not. Of course, you also have college football Week 4 with all the great games that we talked about earlier in our games to watch, including Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Texas A&M and Arkansas, and Rutgers versus Michigan. So definitely make sure to check those ones out as well. And you can also check out all the great sports podcasts that we have on Podcast City Network, including Not a Hockey Market Podcast with JDM, the Nest Podcast, The Rip Griffin Show, the newly acquired Sportszilla Podcast, and, of course, Fixed Edge, which will now be moving to Monday nights. So definitely make sure to check them out in their social media for their next episode. But you can also check out episode 122 of Final Score next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live. So definitely make sure to check that out. But that sadly does bring us to the end of our episode. Any last words, Ivan?
It's been another great show like always, man.
Absolutely, man. We thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. And we thank everyone for watching. Definitely make sure to join us next week for episode 122. But until then, I'm Chris, and that's Ivan, and you guys just watch Final Score. Y'all have a great night.
Podcast City Network.